This is Paul Mascetta. And in this video, I wanted to talk about why your inspiration is failing you and what to do about it. You know, ever since I was 22 years old, I've been a self-improvement junkie. I had a sales job years ago, and a client came into my office one day and he said to me, you know, you have PMA. I said, PMA? What is that? He said, PMA is positive mental attitude. And he started talking to me about self-improvement, and he handed me a book. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Probably heard of it. And in that book, he wrote me a note. He wrote a handwritten note telling me that this is a gift from me, that he thinks it could really help me, that I should read it, and he wished me good luck. And I read that book, and that book changed my life. It changed my outlook on things. And so ever since then, it kind of just lit a fire in me to read and absorb as much as I possibly could about personal development, self-improvement. I remember, while all my friends were partying in Cancun, throwing girls in the pool, in the Vegas hotels, I was on the train reading books on personal development, listening in my iPod to recordings from Tony Robbins, reading books on real estate, just because I knew that real estate was something that could make me wealthy at some point in my life, and I wanted to read about it, and I wanted to understand that. I wanted to expose myself to as many resources as I possibly could. Then what happened was I found myself buying and immersing myself in all of these different things, and what I realized was that a large majority of them were failing to inspire me. So I would buy a book on a certain topic. I would think to myself, this is going to be the book that's going to change my life. I'm going to read this book, and by the time I'm done, I'm going to transform into a completely different person. I'm going to be more successful. I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to be wealthier. I'm going to be wiser. I'm going to be smarter, more intelligent, more attractive, whatever. And I would finish reading the book, and I would be the same person. Or even worse, I would regress and fall into negative behaviors and not following through on my goals. And so really what was happening was, in some cases, my inspiration was failing me. And what I started to realize was that the reason why my inspiration was failing me was because I was experiencing a disconnect between me and the author of the book, or the guru, or a seminar leader, or whoever it was that I was looking to for inspiration. See, let me explain something to you. After 20 years of studying influence, persuasion, human communication, psychology, I've realized that we are more likely to be influenced by people that we like or that we want to be like. And so when you start reading something from someone who's a completely different person than you are, what happens is on a subconscious level, there starts to become a disconnect. So maybe you read a book from somebody that has a really good message, but then you watch a video from them and you think to yourself, man, I just don't like this guy. There's something about this guy that I don't like. Or maybe they write something in the book, they give an example in their book, and the example is something that you don't agree with. Or they use an analogy that doesn't make any sense to you, and then boom, all of a sudden you have this disconnect. And without realizing it, you continue to read, you continue to push the pace, you continue to think that you're going to become inspired by this person, but in reality, there's a disconnect between you and that person, and now you fail to become inspired by them, and now you just wind up wasting your time. And so my advice to you is this. First of all, be very selective in who you choose to allow to inspire you, because I could tell you something else. After almost 15 years of studying personal development, self-improvement, and all that kind of stuff, I could tell you that there are a million different ways to skin a cat. And so what that means is you are going to notice that the more you immerse yourself in this stuff, the more you're going to realize that people have a wide range of varying opinions. One person will write something in a book, and then somebody will write something that is the complete opposite of what that person said. So you're going to find that you're going to get multiple pieces of different advice from people that directly contradict each other. Now, yes, if you read enough and you immerse yourself enough, you will see that there are certain underlying common principles. There will be a commonality of things that you will notice, like you should write your goals down, like you should accept full responsibility for your life, that you should abandon the victim mentality, that you should speak positively to yourself, right? These are common themes that you're going to see. But you're going to see that each person has a different way, and oftentimes those ways conflict with each other of achieving those things. So the bottom line is everyone's got something to say. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's got a different way of doing things. What you have to find is the person that you can identify with the most. You see, once I found the person that I identified with the most, my life changed like that. I was reading self-improvement books. I was going to seminars. I was immersing myself in all this positivity, but the people that I was learning it from, I was disconnecting from them. I felt on a subconscious level like they were phony, they weren't real, like I had nothing in common with them. And so even though what they had to say could have been positive and it could have been effective, it wasn't working for me until I found somebody that I could truly identify with. Somebody that I could look at and say, man, if that guy can do it, I can do it. Oh, that guy reminds me of myself. Oh, I did that once in my life when he talked about something that happened in one of his books. Once you find somebody that you can truly relate to, the message that they give you is going to stick to you much, much more. And you're going to really find your inspiration, and the inspiration isn't going to be broken. Now, the trick is, there is a caveat to this. The caveat is that in order to actually find somebody that inspires you, that you have something in common with, you kind of have to go through the motions and expose yourself to as many different people as possible until you find that one person. But, you know, in today's day and age, you have access to more information than you need. Watch YouTube videos, do research on the internet, read sample chapters from books to get a sense of the author and their point of view on things. But more than focusing on the message, focus on the messenger and the person delivering the message. And keep searching until you find that one person that you could truly identify with. Because it doesn't matter how good their message is. If it doesn't stick with you, it fails.